I'm not a basement dweller. How can you be like this to us? How could you actually do this? How could you stereotype us? Make an apology to me. Make an apology video to me, to all of us. Normal people that just enjoyed edgy content. Not everybody's a f***ing basement dweller, you stupid Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Daniel from Same Guy New World. I saw Idubbbz uploaded this apology video about all the fucked up content he has made in the past. And as a viewer, I would like to respond because I don't find myself in his examples of basement dwelling people. So let's get into it.
For a while, I felt like if I changed my content over time, that people would see that as a reflection of who I am and what I value.
The problem with changing content is, let's say, I'm making only content about fixing cars. If I start changing my content into baking cookies, I will lose a lot of my viewers. Because some people came here for something, right? Some people came here to see me fix cars. They didn't come here to see me bake cookies. So of course you're gonna lose some subscribers with this.
I'm starting to realize that that is a very weak and passive way to, you know, run my channel and live my life. So I think it's, you know, if I'm gonna have the balls to go to Tana's fan meetup and say slurs at her and then make a video about how it's okay to say slurs, I think I should have the balls to make an apology video and take accountability for the mistakes I've made.
For any of you that don't know what he's talking about the video that he went to Tana Mongeau, I guess, event, and he said the N-word because she was always joking about the N-word, and he kind of threw it back at her. So that's what this is all about. And of course, giving your apology to that kind of stuff is okay, but still, why would you bring it up? It has been 5 to 6 years, I think. It was 2016. I'm not saying it's okay, right? I'm just saying that sometimes you just need to let things go. People have forgot, right? I'm not thinking about this all day that he said the N-word to Tana Mongeau.
So that's what this video is. I've realized that I need to be crystal clear about what I believe, so there's no room for ambiguity. I am responsible for creating a lot of hurtful and damaging content on this channel. And I've also created a culture
I see he has been drinking soy lately.
Apathy and, I don't know, a lot of like cruelty as well. Like, you know, some of the videos I've made have been very, not edgy. I don't think they you know, some of these videos were edgy. I think they were just outright cruel.
As a former viewer, I don't see these as cruel. It was just the jokes of the time, right? It was very edgy. 2016 was very edgy. We had people like Filthy Frank, Max Mofo, anything for views. We had the guy that stapled everything to his body. You know the guy that always put 100 staples in himself. It was an edgy year for content. And I get it. Some people may not like it, but that was the time. So it's okay. All the Content Cup videos he has been making were valid criticisms and throwing back the things that people did on camera to other people. Like Rice was always flexing, so he made a video about Rice flexing. He also made a Content Cup about Leafy and how Leaf is always roasting someone else's appearance. So he did the same. He threw it back. It's okay. It was the humor of the time. Of course, some things were not okay that Leafy did, but I'm not gonna get into it. It's about Idubbbz now, so let's go on.
So I don't want people to, you know, get it confused about, you know, where I stand. I have made some cruel, hurtful content, and I need to acknowledge that, and I'm really sorry that it's taken me this long to acknowledge it.
That's okay, I accept your apology, but it's not for me. The thing I'm trying to say is, I don't think Idubbbz is a racist, a homophobe, or whatever. I see him as a content producer who made edgy content back in the day. I don't see Filthy Frank as a racist. Filthy Frank made a fucking edgy video about a guy in a wheelchair. It was a black guy in this example, but it was a very fucking edgy video. But the guy in the video who was in the wheelchair was okay with it, right? There was no backlash about it. It was okay. So sometimes content over the years just ages, right? Ages badly in this example because everything has gone woke right now. But besides that, it was the content of the time. Sometimes jokes can be a very nice bridge between acceptance and something unusual. If you make a joke about it, you laugh about it. I laugh sometimes when I see very fucked up shit, because that's my stress response, right? If I see something very fucked up, I laugh at it. Not because I'm mean to the guy or whatever, whatever I'm seeing, but still, it's a stress response, and then you learn to accept some things, right? That's at least how it's for me.
The content I'm talking about specifically are content cop videos and videos where I was just generally criticizing people for very lackluster reasons, and you know, obviously didn't have any accountability online whatsoever on my end.
You have also made some very nice content cops and put people back in their place. I think that's very lacking in these days right now, because nobody's get put back in their place and some social order is not being stimulated right now. If you catch me flexing or whatever, or being a dick to someone, you should point it out, because that keeps everything nice and equal, right? There should be some social consequence for stupid ass behavior, so I don't know what he's on about.
And I'm not. I'm a human. I'm a real human.
You're human, and I was human. I am human, still.
I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate. It's also indoctrinated a lot of people into thinking that this is an okay way to behave, and it's not. It's super irresponsible and shitty.
Idubbbz didn't teach me to be racist or bigoted or whatever. He was just a content producer. I didn't turn out any worse because I watched him, or at least I don't think so. Of course, everybody's different. I can discern between a joke and reality. Maybe some people can't. Maybe that's the problem, but you will always have viewers. At least if you have 1 million viewers, at least 10% of them will take things way too seriously. That's just a numbers thing. You can't fix this. There will always be a percentile of people that take things too far. We have covered it previously in some episodes I did. Because you will always have a subset of people that take it way too far, or think that you are actually racist, or that you are actually something like a god, and take every word you say literally and stuff. Of course there will be this kind of people, but you can make content if you don't account for these people and just leave them to the side, right? What else are you gonna do? Not make any content because one person may do something fucked up? Then nobody can produce anything. Let's say if an artist raps about taking pills and drinking lean, not everybody is gonna do it. At least 10% of people will at least consider it, and maybe 1% of those 10% people will actually go and do it. So I don't think this is a problem.
Very insecure about my ability to create interesting content or like entertain. It's gotten better over the years, but it's something that I have struggled with constantly, and it's one of the reasons why I, kept making this hurtful content. I ended up pivoting it into other things because I felt bad about it, like innately. But it's still something that I struggle with, and I don't want you to interpret that as an excuse, but I hope that that is relatable to other creators who maybe struggle with the same thing.
There's not a video of Idubbbz and Ethan from H3H3 making a video about surfing and actually making fun of Mark Zuckerberg, but that's still making fun, but it wasn't hurtful. They were just talking about how much fucking sunscreen he has put on, and it is ridiculous, to be honest. That's an okay video. I like the video as well. It doesn't have to be a content cop or anything more serious. I like those videos. You can make fucking videos, man. You have been doing this for like 7 to 8 years, so you can make content. You are entertaining. The boxing events are entertaining. But still, you are entertaining. What are you doing? What are you talking about, man? It's alright. Don't be so insecure, man. You're alright. Just make content that you love. Damn.
I'm not confident in my ability to entertain, and I think if I had to rely on my personality to entertain people, that I wouldn't have any amount of success.
That's stupid, man. You are entertaining. I just gave the example, but there are more videos of you being entertaining. Those scroll videos were okay. It wasn't as entertaining or flashy, but it was still good. I watched it, so that's okay. I don't know what the rest of his audience is. It's just from my perspective, but still, it was alright. I liked it. Don't be so fucking negative, man. It's bad for you.
And that is really hard to come to terms with. I was being very bigoted in a lot of my videos, and I justified it because, I didn't think it was too serious. And I thought that people were going to see that I had good intentions, you know, but that's so silly, you know. Casual racism is still racism. Casual bigotry is still bigotry. And, you know, I said a lot of things that I look back at and I cringe now, and I'm like, that is an awful thing to say.
A lot of things were just out of good fun. The racism thing I'm not going to touch right now, so I'm not talking about the racism. Let's leave that to the side, because I don't know how it feels to be called the N-word, because I've never experienced it. Or at least the past that's associated with it. So I'm going to get off of this because I'm not qualified to talk about this. The rest of my points are still valid, right? Because I didn't see him as a bigot or as anything. Maybe he has hurt some people by saying some words, I get it, but you're always gonna hurt somebody, except for racism, because that's a whole different category. But still.
And that's stupid. And it's led to a lot of hate and a lot of bad outcomes. It doesn't matter what my intentions are. Like, if I'm hurting people, I'm hurting people. And, you know, who the fuck knows what my intentions are? Like, sarcasm and like jokiness and jokey tone only goes so far, especially over the internet. Even in real life, that's like an impossible thing to know with 100% certainty. I've just always had this dumb philosophy that I'm not responsible for, you know, my audience and how they behave beyond what content I put out.
You aren't responsible. At least if you're not exactly telling them what to do. Let's say if I tell my subscribers to make a bomb and go blow up some stuff, yes, then I'm fucking responsible. But if I just make content and somebody takes it the wrong way, they can make a response towards me and ask for clarification or leave it in the comments or whatever. I'm happy to address it. It's no problem. I'm just saying, you can't actually... Some people just will take it the wrong way, and that's okay. That's just being online. Some people take the news the wrong way. There will always be people who take things the wrong way. So you shouldn't be worrying about the 1% of stupid people that actually take it the wrong way. Just make your content, everything is okay. I'm not like this. Maybe the rest of his whole audience, maybe I'm the 1%, but I don't think so. I would at least hope that there are some rational people in his audience. At least I am, so I assume I'm not the only one.
And I just want to make it clear that I am absolutely responsible for my audience. And, you know, I guess if you want to, you know, look out for people who are red flags, it's definitely people who had my mentality that say, I'm not responsible for what my audience does. I know that this apology isn't enough. I've clearly done a lot of damage. You know, these videos have been up for a long time and have accumulated millions of views. I shouldn't be able to just make an apology video and walk away from it.
I don't know if you are actually responsible. Am I a red flag? Of course, you should watch out what you're saying. And if you're throwing casual racism around, yes, of course, it's gonna attract a certain type of people. But I don't think you're influencing it. I think it's those kind of people that come to that kind of content. I don't think you can make a rational person totally racist or totally homophobic or whatever. You would need years of content just streaming into somebody's eyes and ears to make somebody racist.
This is something that I should live the rest of my life with, and I expect to. I've profited off of this bigoted content for years, and I've made a successful career out of it, and that's not right. I think that this is only a step in the right direction, and I know that a lot more needs to be done to even approach a life that I would think would be like acceptable.
I think you take this way too seriously, man. I get that you may have hurt some people or converted some people, or the fan interactions that you have had actually gave you the wrong perspective of people. But not everybody is like this. I urge all the Idubbbz fans to make a video just like this or something else, just to give him a perspective that not everybody that watches his content is a total basement-dwelling incel idiot.
I am running ads on this video, and any revenue generated from this video I'm going to match and donate to an organization that, you know, would have been particularly affected by the type of rhetoric that I've been spewing on this channel. And again, this isn't the end of what I'm doing. This is just the start. I don't feel like a lot of this content represents me as a person, at least not anymore. There was a time where it probably perfectly represented me because I was a nasty, apathetic, insecure person. now that I don't feel like it represents me and I want to distance myself from it and keep it from, indoctrinating more people, I'd like to unlist the videos so that people, can access them still for whatever, purposes they might want to do that for. But it's not being proliferated on the website. I feel like that's the best solution, at least for the time being.
I don't know if that's gonna help anything. Everybody has seen it already. It's not gonna make a very big difference, right? I don't see it in my feed or in my recommended. I think Idubbbz just takes this way too seriously, and I'm actually sad to see, because he seems really distraught about this whole thing, and I'm really sad to see him be in this kind of mind space. But I think he's got it all wrong. I think his girlfriend has been whispering in his ear for the last couple of months to make this video, because I don't think this comes from him, because this is so out of place. I don't know.
And for anyone who liked those videos, I want this video to be an example and a lesson for you. You can like content, but you can also think that it's irresponsible and it's hurting other people.
I know it was irresponsible, and I know it was pushing limits, but I could understand. I was 16, 17 at the time, and I still understood that this is just for fun. This is not something that I should take seriously. This is entertainment, edgy entertainment. I took it like a Jackass movie or something. You, of course, shouldn't do what they are doing in the film, but I took it as edgy entertainment, pushing the boundaries. I didn't take it too seriously. I'm not racist because of your content. I'm not racist at all, but still.
So just tap into that part of your brain that's saying like, oh, okay, it's probably not that important that this video stays online, because truthfully, I've seen it, I've experienced the content, but it's done a lot of damage. We can just let it go.
It was already let go. Nobody was actually talking about this. Because of the creator clash and some drama that came up, people started talking about it again and taking it as example. But everything is already up. You can't erase anything anymore. It's in our collective minds. It's on reaction videos. It's on everything. So you can't erase it, right? It's a relic. I see it as a relic. If I watch those videos back, I get taken back to 2015, 2016, and the weird ass time that I had back then. It was good. I liked it. Maybe some people take it differently. I don't know. Show me an example of some people actually be turned racist because of your content. Like, show me the example, please. Damn.
I'm sorry to everyone that I made content cop videos on. I still don't like the majority of you, and that's fine, but I can recognize that you did not deserve the hate and harassment that I sent your way. I particularly want to apologize to Tana. Tana, I'm sorry. I should have never made that video. I harassed Tana in person and then harassed her online, and that's...
The only thing he shouldn't have done is go to the event and made her say the N-word. That's the only thing he shouldn't have done. The rest was completely fine in my opinion. That was the only thing that went way too far. And I get it that it went way too far. He shouldn't have done it actually in person. But the rest of the video is okay. I've just watched it back. It's okay.
Deplorable behavior. It's so stupid. I'm also sorry to all the black viewers and minority groups who had to put up with that video and put up with, the phrases. I said either it's all okay or none of it's okay. And that's just so dangerous and stupid.
I'm not going to comment about the N-word anymore. I don't use it in my day-to-day language. I get that it hurts people. And I know the things that have happened in the past because of it. And I know that things have happened in the past. And I get that it's hurtful to people to be reminded of those times, of those dark times, actually. I get it. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not saying anything about it, except that it was stupid for him to go to tennis event and actually use the word casually in his videos. That wasn't the best thing, but still. The rest was okay. The rest was okay. And making fun of Leafy's appearance and his chin, or lack thereof, actually. Leafy was also making videos about appearance, so I think if you throw a stone, it can be thrown back at you. Should I be mad if somebody makes a response video to me in the future? No, I shouldn't.
I have made content that I'm proud of over the years. It hasn't been as consistent as maybe I'd like it to have been, but there is a lot of content that I think had a net positive on the world And, I'm going to strive to continue on that trend.
I wish you would actually make more documentaries, because the documentary was put together very well, and I would like to see more of it. Sure, I will watch, and I won't be reminded to some of the things that you have done in the past.
But again, I'm absolutely going to continue to make mistakes, but I want the mistakes to be a lot smaller and a lot less serious.
Just don't say anything racist and you will be fine.
I also want to give some clarity to the post-fight speech that I gave. I mean, it wasn't a speech. It was a phrase. I was like,
I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I really do appreciate the support, and, thank you for coming.
That was addressing the people over the years that I neglected and I left behind.
You will always leave behind people, sadly. And I know it's sad and it's fucked up, but you will always leave people behind and change friend groups and everybody. That's just part of life. I don't know why it has to be so dramatic all the time. I don't know. I actually don't get it. Maybe I will make an apology video in the future about this video, but for now, I don't see any problem with it. Godverdomme, dat meen je niet.
The people whose feelings I
Anyway.
didn't take into consideration, those are the people who I was addressing as, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Anyone who thinks that I should be shouting the N-word from the rooftops, I don't want to be your cup of tea.
Maybe there are some people in this audience that took it way too far, but I've already made my point. I'm not gonna rehash this shit again.
Now I want to talk about events and situations that have happened over the past 5 years of my life that have led me to the place I'm at now. One year I was at a convention and a bunch of fans were, wanting pictures, and this particular fan came up to me and said, I know you probably don't like transgender people, but can I, get a picture? That smacked me in the face. I was like, oh, holy shit. Why would you think that?
He has never made any jokes about transgender people. He has never talked badly about transgenders. It was never about transgenders. This is a whole new thing right now. I think it was just the insecurity of the transgender person that was actually coming up to him, because he has made some edgy content, and maybe the insecurities were, and maybe her or him, I don't know who it was, but maybe the insecurities were triggered a little bit. But that's not your fault. You have never made jokes about transgender people, at least as far as I know. So it was just their insecurity. Don't let their insecurity be your bane, right?
But I mean, it was fairly obvious. I was being cruel, hateful, bigoted, and being very uncaring about people's feelings. That is a very fair assessment to make. I was giving this person...
Why would I, let's say, come up to you if I know you hate me? Let's say you hate transgender people. Why would a transgender person come up to you? Right? If they already know you're a piece of shit, why are they watching you? They liked your videos, so there must be some kind of pull you had on them, right? I don't know. This is what I'm talking about. It's their insecurity, and this is not your fault. This is not your problem.
Person bad vibes, and I think I've given a lot of people extremely bad vibes.
Then why would people come up to you to take a picture with you? I would only take a picture with somebody that I look up to, or at least if I respect somebody, or if I like their content or whatever. I wouldn't go up to somebody that I didn't like. Let's say I come up to Destiny or something for a picture. Why would I do this? I don't like the guy. So why would I come up to him?
Another event that was very important for me to experience was I went on a boxing podcast. I was basically like trying to walk back my Tana content cop. I was still very like insecure and uncomfortable with the fact that I made that video. and but I was still coping. You'll see me struggle in this clip to, you know, say that it was wrong.
So I just wanted to let you talk on that, right? Because obviously using the N-word is definitely frowned upon by a lot of people, especially by a non-African American. But I was just curious.
That was a very weird video because I wanted to like criticize her for her like sort of flagrant use of it. I've been pretty flagrant about it too, not in the same way. I thought there was a message to be shared there, and I don't think it was particularly. It was okay in criticizing her, but I think I probably wasn't the person to deliver the message, if that makes sense. There was a message that I was trying to put out there, and like, I'm not really the person to put out that message. I don't regret making the video. I think, you know, there's bits and pieces to take from it that I think are valuable, but, you know, I probably wouldn't make it these days.
I'm very grateful to those guys and how they broached the subject, because you know, it didn't put me on the defensive. It just made me realize, like, I'm stupid. I'm stupid, and I really need to, like, acknowledge these things. Like, what am I doing? I'm still trying to make excuses for myself and, like, you know, why I made that video. It's like, it was a dumb idea. I harassed someone. I was saying slurs, and I was trying to justify it all.
You made one bad video. Don't let this be your whole career, man. PewDiePie said some fucked up shit on a bridge once. He got over it. It's okay. Some people just fuck up, and that was a big fuck up, actually. But some people just fuck up. Don't let this be your whole reality, right?
A very big thing that has sort of altered my view on all of this is just the amount of hate and harassment my wife, Anissa, has received over the years. She's had to deal with it from the beginning of our relationship. And I have done a horrible job at acknowledging her and her feelings for it.
That's for a totally different reason. She has actually done some bad stuff, and I think she is actually a bad influence, but I'm not gonna mingle in your relationships. That's totally your problem. But still, I think she has rubbed people the wrong way and made people rub themselves the wrong way.
That was her problem, or that was, you know, other people's problem. Like, it's not my problem that you're getting hate and harassment. And it's like, no, it absolutely is. You know, that's the culture that I cultivated, and I, you know, didn't do anything to change that. You know, over the years it's changed a little bit, but, you know, I don't think I've still fully acknowledged how responsible I am for the amount of harassment that Anissa has had to deal with.
Well, there's only so much you can do. If you get with a famous person, you're gonna expect you're gonna expect fans to say some stupid stuff. If she just dated a regular Joe Smo, it wouldn't be an issue. But if you date someone semi-famous or famous or whatever, you're always gonna get some fans and some stupid people with it. That's okay, that's normal.
And this year, I decided to speak more candidly and be more open about who I am as a person, and to speak on my life a little bit more. And I did that on Anthony Padilla's podcast. These are the people that I'm attracting. These are the people that I'm entertaining. Like, I need to reevaluate things. They're relating and enjoying this content for a reason, and that's not maybe the same reason that I'm trying to make.
I enjoyed it because it was edgy, and I was a kid, or at least I was like 16, I think, and it was edgy. And it was kind of weird. It was kind of, I liked the content very much, and not because I'm a racist. I was a kid, and I liked edgy things and things that push the boundaries, because every kid actually thinks like this, right? Like pushing boundaries, try to see what they can and can't get away with, and this is just normal. So I didn't took it the wrong fucking way, so.
I had a very Wild West mentality when it came to online behavior. Like, people are going to do what they want to do. People are going to say what they want to say. And I can pretty much do the same because it's the internet. But I think you have to be a lot more responsible. If you guys are at all interested in how I've arrived here, that video gives, you know, a good bit of context and talks about some of my life a little bit. There is a clip from this interview that's been floating around the internet, and it's me calling my fans antisocial and basement dwellers, and I was like, I didn't like, you know, interacting with my fans. I just want to be clear, like, that was my realization. I think a lot of people are like, of course that happened, is because you were creating that culture and you were attracting those people. And it's like, yes, I know.
Well, thank you. You know what? Thank you. I've always watched your content, and I enjoyed it a lot. I liked it. I loved it. I watched it. I'm not a basement dweller. How can you be like this to us? How could you actually do this? How could you stereotype us? Make a fucking apology to me. Make an apology video to me, to all of us. Normal people that just enjoyed edgy content. Not everybody's a fucking basement dweller, you stupid fuck. Dickhead.
I know now. I didn't know before. It was my realization upon, meeting more and more fans that I was like, oh shit, you guys are struggling. It was easy for me to identify them struggling when they were outside of my body. But the antisocial basement-dwelling incel that was inside here, I couldn't acknowledge that. I couldn't recognize that.
I don't think this is fair at all, man. I don't think this is fair at all. Of course, maybe I'm the exception in his audience. Maybe I'm the exception in his audience. Maybe I'm the 10% that actually is rational with a lot of other people. I don't know. Maybe I got it all wrong. Just show me an example. Show me a fucking example of somebody, of a majority of your audience actually being basement-dwelling idiots that like that are racist, bigoted, homophobic, transphobic, every fucking phobic that you can imagine. Show me an example, and I will make an apology. If I'm the 10%, then I'm the 10% that falls between the cracks. That's okay.
So I needed the mirror to be held up to me. In closing, I want to say that I have always thought that I was an empathetic person because I thought, well, I get angry, I get sad. Of course I got empathy. Seems easy, right? Empathy. I definitely have that. There were moments where like a dog would die in a film and I'd cry. So it's like, of course I have empathy. But I never did. I think only in these past couple of years have I gained the ability empathy. And I'm very ashamed to admit that. It sounds really
Rip
pathetic to
Rest
say
in
at the
peace,
age
man.
of 32 I've acquired empathy. But I have, and I've realized it because I just can't help myself but feel for other people's pain and suffering now. I'm still not perfect. I think that is my empathy meter's only maybe a quarter of the way filled up potentially, but it's at least there. And I just want you guys to know that you can unlock ability empathy if you experience more life.
I feel empathy. I really do. I feel empathy with a lot of people, but you can't feel empathetic to everybody because you can't help anybody. If you only feel fucking empathetic to if you would feel empathetic to everybody, they would just be depressed because you can't help anybody. I feel empathy for people that I actually can help. And of course I feel empathy for people that I can't help, but I can't be obsessed with it, right? I can't be obsessed because if I'm obsessed with it and I can't do anything, it's only gonna get worse. I'm only gonna make myself feel shitty, and I can't focus on the people that actually need help, and I can actually give help to them, right? All right, that's it. Well, that was a clusterfuck. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you're the 10% that's actually normal, comment down below. If you're a basement dwelling, I will make an apology video because I've hurt you a lot in 5 to 10 years. All right, see you later.